everyone, welcome back to the channel. Big hello to all the new subscribers. Thank you for subscribing, and I want to say a big happy Thanksgiving to everybody. I hope you have a joyous one and a safe one. You can see it's only fired on the top cylinder. Well, you can probably see which one of the coils there is not firing. I pulled the flywheel on it, and you can see the old Bakelite coil. Pretty toasty. Hey, but there ain't no spiders under there that I see. But yeah, so I'll replace that coil with a good one. Then I'm going to remove the points and all, and try some chips, I think. Okay, you can see I got the flywheel off of there, and if you've noticed, I've replaced both of the coils on this guy, and I'll show and tell you why here. So this one was where the points were not firing. It had that coil that was all just corroded and falling apart, the old Bakelite type of coil. So I replaced that, and I put a Nova chip, and I got good spark. Well, this coil was firing the points fine. Well, it wasn't this coil, but it was one that I had in here that had a dark purplish, almost brown looking color right here. Well, it wouldn't fire the Nova chip. So I looked around, I didn't have another Nova chip. So I thought, well, I had another motor that I put these chips off, and it didn't have the Nova chip, but it had a copy of it. And it's firing on that engine. So I thought, well, I know this chip's good. I put it over here, and that coil would not fire it. So I thought, well, maybe it's the coil. So I took the coil off. I put it on my Stevens ST75 coil checker, and it said it was good. So then I checked another coil, this green one, and it said it was good. I put it in there, and it still wouldn't fire that Nova copy chip. So I took that chip back over and tested it on my other little 4-horse that it was on, and it fires the spark plug. But it wouldn't on this one. So I thought, well, those are the only other 2 chips I had. So I thought, what am I going to do? So I looked around, and I had one of the old Atom chips. If you look right here, there's one of the plastic Atom made chips from back in the day, made in Australia. And then if you look right over here, here's the Nova chip, the little aluminum ones, and it fires that cylinder fine. This coil will fire that Nova chip. So I'm not sure what's going on there. So I've been playing around with the more modern chips, and I think I'm coming to a conclusion that the old plastic Australian Atom chips are better. And the reason why I'm saying that, there is something different. On this 10-horse here, I had one set of points firing. So I pulled off the flywheel, and I found an old vintage coil under there that had the old Bakelite type stuff that was just deteriorating, and I said, well, there's the problem there. So I replaced that coil, And while I was under there, I took out the other points on the coil that was firing the points well. And I put the chips. I put 2 Nova chips. And it was weird. I got fire on the coil that I replaced. But the coil that was firing the points fine before I took them out would not fire on a Nova chip. So I then replaced the coil with one that looks just like that one. And the coil that was on it, and you'll see in the video, was this one with the brownish looking. And this was firing points just fine. Well, so then I didn't have fire on the coil that was firing the points, so I replaced it. Still no fire. So I took the Nova chip off, and I took one of the old vintage Atom chips, put it on there, fired nice and bright. So I said, wow, what's causing that? So I didn't have any of the Kawasaki chips. So I put a different Nova style chip. It doesn't say Nova on it, but that's what it looks like. And I don't know, I already put it away. But it just looks just like a Nova chip, except it doesn't say Nova on it. And I took it off a 4-horse that I have a video running perfect on those chips. I put that chip on this one, on this 10-horse. Still no fire. So that got me into a couple of days of playing around with these chips. Now, the original chips made by Atom, these, they come in several colors: green, blue, brown, yellow, red, orange, white, purple, and pink. And it gives a listing on the different usage depending on the color. Well, I had a green chip. I have a green chip. And you'll see it in the video. I've got, I put this on the one that wasn't firing. And lo and behold, this chip fired. It didn't seem to idle very well with that green chip, but it would run the motor and I would get fire on both plugs. So then I have, and for the green chip it says, fits all single-cylinder Briggs & Stratton engines as used in lawnmowers, cultivators, pumps, generators, snow blowers, ride mowers, compact garden tractors, etc. Also replaces magnetron transistor ignitions for twin-cylinder Briggs & Stratton engines. Use module 209. Okay, so in addition to the color, they have a number. All right, the next color was blue. I don't have any of them. The next color was brown. Don't have any of them. Yellow. Don't have any of them. Red. Red, according to this, is the one that I should be using. This pack contains module 215 red. Fits most two-cycle cylinder, or two-cylinder, two-cycle outboard motors. So I have one red one on there, and it fired when the other ones wouldn't, when the Nova style wouldn't. Well, then it has purple and pink, and I have one of those two colors. Looking at it, I think it's probably a pink, but it's kind of faded. But for the pink, it says fits most mopeds, trail bikes, motorcycles, magnetic ignition, no battery. That's for a pink. Now for the purple, it says fits outboard motors with fixed ignition timing, 1 per cylinder. Well, that also kind of says the same thing for red. It says for the red, use 1 module per cylinder, not for engines with battery generator flywheels. Also, fits single-cylinder outboards throttle connected ignition timing for outboards with fixed ignition. Refer to module 7. and module 7 is the purple. So it sounds like the purple will work either for a red or for the purple usage. So anyway, I could not get the Nova chips to fire on this engine on both cylinders. I did get one cylinder firing on it. And here's what's interesting. The engine was running fairly well. I had one Nova chip and one red Atom chip. I was revving the motor, and when I got up to real high RPM, the one with the Nova chip quit firing. It's like I burned it up or something. And so I switched it to the other side just to see, and I had no fire there. So it followed. The problem followed. So the Nova chip, once I got to high RPM on this 10 horsepower twin cylinder 2-stroke, it died. And that's not the first time I've had that happen on the Nova chips. I remember a few years ago I was messing with them on a little outboard, little twin cylinder, older 50s Johnson, and I had the thing running, and I would rev it real high and it would kill the Nova chip. I'd put another one in there, I'd have spark, I'd rev it up real high, and it would die again. So I don't know what causes that. That's with the pink, or purple, I'm not sure. One thing I am noticing is with the pink module over on this side, it idles a lot better. It wouldn't want to idle with the green module. Yeah, it definitely idles better with the pink, or pink, purple, whichever one that is. I'd say pink. It idles better. With the green module on that cylinder, it didn't want to idle. It would run though. So, a little bit interesting. this one's got me scratching my head a little bit. So thanks for watching, and again, everybody have a happy and safe Thanksgiving, and there'll be more to come on this as I play with them. So thanks again.